From Las Vegas, live at Lamar Theater, podcast starring actor Jean-Claude Lamar, producer Eurika Pratt.
Welcome to another episode of Live at Lamar Theater here in Las Vegas. I'm Jean-Claude Lamar.
I'm Eurika Pratt.
We're here in Las Vegas, the only all-black-owned freestanding theater here in the city.
Yes.
And we bring you the latest in news and what's happening here at the theater with some of our shows, interviews, and of course, we produce films.
Yes.
And you get an opportunity. We talk a little bit about our films and how those are developing. So, Eureka, I haven't seen you since last year.
Yes, because you were on vacation. How was vacation?
I was on vacation.
Where
I
were
was.
You were in, or you were somewhere, Barbados, or?
No, I wasn't in Barbados. You got to get your Caribbean. You got to.
Where were you, Jean-Claude?
I was actually in Martinique. Martinique.
Fun.
Martinique. Yeah, I own a home in Martinique, and it's a family home. I built it over. It took me actually about 10 years to build that house.
Yeah, I remember.
It's about 5 bedrooms.
Nice.
And acres of land.
Yeah,
and
we all see it on your Instagram. It looks beautiful.
Thanks. And no, and I got to tell you, some of the things that I do while I'm down there, I don't shave. I let it grow, and I don't even put on deodorant.
Isn't it hot?
It is hot. It is hot.
Oh.
The block is hot. We make it hot, and
That's why in every one of your videos you're alone.
Yeah, right.
No one
right.
wants to be next
Actually,
to you.
to be honest with you, I was in a vehicle a couple of times, and
Not in a
folks,
vehicle.
folks were like,
Yeah, you put the window down.
put the roll down the windows, huh? But I got to tell you, it's a beautiful experience to sort of go down every year, decompress.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for the last 6 years now, consistently. I mean, I used to go every now and then, but consistently the last 6 years. I've got cows on the land.
Do you milk the cows? I always wanted to ask you that. Every time you post, I go, is this the only interaction you have with the cow when you sort of pan the camera by, or do you actually deal with the cow?
No, I don't milk the cows. No, I don't have a little bonnet. And
Is there someone that milks the cows there?
No, there's no one that milks the cows.
So what does the cow do?
Well, what we do is we grow the cows, and then we sell them.
Okay.
There are different celebrations and
There's
festivities.
a lot of farmland over there, right?
A lot of farmland. We've got pigs, we've got chickens, we've got all kinds. Oh, and by the way,
You got pigs there?
1 or 2 pigs.
I've never seen them on
1 or
your
2.
Instagram.
Yeah. I actually am gonna post one today.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little mean.
They were mean.
I see goats, I see cows, but you don't post the pigs.
And I felt so bad because I don't eat meat, and just to see that pig there, knowing
Someone's going to eat it.
it is going to be bacon,
Yeah, that's
right?
tough.
Yeah, it was kind of tough. But I got to tell you, we plant a lot of fruit trees, so it's always good every year to go and see all of the different progress. And so I've got everything from like breadfruit. I've got cherries, of course, mangoes.
Nice.
I've got coconuts.
Yeah, you gotta have
okay.
coconuts.
Every morning, guys, I would wake up and I'd have one of the servants bring me
Not one of the
milk.
servants. She's got servants.
Well, I mean,
But a lot of people
person
have
who
servants.
works the
Yeah.
listen. Don't try to play. Don't try to play me like I'm a slave owner, bro.
Does the servant live there?
No, yeah, and paid.
Oh, okay.
And yes, we provide housing as well.
Okay. I was told that in some of the Caribbean islands, that when you have an in-home or in-house, like, servant, if you will, but, worker, that you guys actually provide for the worker's child's school care or schooling. Is that true? I know I've heard that in Haiti.
No, they do that. They do that all the time. The guy who works there and the young lady, they don't have children.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
And so and by the way, they have a full functional life. They do, yeah.
They have their hours and then they're like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah. It's not like they're, indentured servants. They're
housekeepers.
They're housekeepers, exactly.
Just like here in the States.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. But
so
they're
it
not
works the same.
But they're not unionized.
Okay.
Ain't nobody picketing outside of our property. Anyway, so I had a great time, and I'm glad to be back in the theater, and glad so. Which brings me to this question: how was because you didn't travel?
No, my travel is I always go in the first quarter of the year, just because there's no one while you're gone, I hold down the fort, and then you kind of take over when it's time for
Got
you.
it.
Yeah, we got to break it up. Can't just shut down.
Yeah, and there's tons of shows here,
Yeah.
so it's kind of
the
difficult.
shows need one of us.
Okay, I get it. So how was your week here at the theater that you were not, well, actually, it's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It's been about 2
about
weeks.
2 weeks.
About 13, 14 days, right?
And we were only closed for about 5.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the last time I saw you was at the Christmas party here at the
Yes,
theater. That was a lot of fun, by the way. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Okay, so how was your week?
It was a good week. It was a good week. I believe that the way your year ends, or sort of the trajectory of the year, really depends on how you start your year. I'm pretty superstitious. So I'm very happy with the way this week has been going. It's been a wonderful start. Elvis, Black Magic Live, Black Girl Magic, Tina, they've all, Razzle Dazzle, James Brown, have all opened up. Like, it's just, for January,
people just started coming back to Vegas.
And usually January is still fairly slow, just like December and November. But I've been pleasantly surprised at the attendance.
Okay.
So I'm very,
okay. So
very
people
happy.
are coming back out to
Yes.
Vegas, checking out some of these
Yes,
shows.
yes.
And, okay, I'm excited about it. So, for those of you that don't know, Eureka doesn't only produce some of the shows here; she's also in one of her shows.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to talk about that.
Well, I just wanted to, I wanted to ask you, how
Yeah.
is Black Girl Magic Burlesque?
So funny that you bring it up, because last night, Saturday night, I host a show, and I don't typically. I've got a couple of routines and a couple sets. I'm hosting, so I keep the vibe going.
Okay.
But last night I ventured off into the crowd a little bit.
Oh wait, hold on a second. You didn't go. Wait a minute.
I did.
Did you go twerk?
I didn't twerk. I didn't have to, because it was just so. It was a lot of fun. I did not
Okay.
expect it, and
And it's a tipping show, isn't it?
it is a tipping show.
So were
I
you-
made some money last night. I did.
Whoa!
I made some
Wait a
tips.
minute.
It was
Hold
so
on
fun.
a second. Hold on a second. So you.
Listen. My mom, who was here, I turned around. I was like, I don't know what my mother's gonna think. I turned around. She was right here.
Recording it? Okay, that was great.
was fun.
And for those of you that don't know, Eureka's usually very shy.
Yeah.
And this year, we actually convinced her to venture out of
A
her
little
comfort
bit.
zone, and actually, because we needed a hostess,
Mm-hmm.
and for that particular show, and we all volunteered her.
Yes,
And so
they've been
she's-
trying to get me to do this show for over a year. And finally, about 3 months ago, I said, okay, fine. I'll just, I'll hold the
do
microphone, I'll
something?
talk a little bit. Then before you knew it, I had a routine. Then I'm in the opening. Now I'm in the audience.
Now she's like,
It just
Now you just-
keep pushing.
now you're just all in. You're all in. It's a full commitment.
I actually,
Okay.
and it's funny, you don't see it happening.
Right,
So
right.
when I went home and I'm sort of unwinding, did I really do that?
You saw all your
Like, I
tip,
just know.
all your tip money. He's like, hey,
It's like,
hey.
wait, what was I doing? But I love the audience that comes to Black Girl Magic. They made me feel very comfortable. They're so respectful. It's not as scary as I thought it would be.
Right.
Because I watch the girls, they go on, they're dancing, they're so free. But from the outside looking in, it seems a little scary.
And this
so
show,
it's intimidating.
and this burlesque show, there's no nudity or anything
No,
like that.
no nudity. I had a full costume on.
Okay.
And it was really just it was.
And it's like sexy costume.
It's sexy costume, and it felt like I walked into a nightclub and I saw some girlfriends and some friends, and I just went and danced with them a little bit because they actually got up and danced with me.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was a.
It was a fun experience.
Yeah, I hope the next time I venture out that it's
Yeah, don't
like
venture
that.
out. Don't venture out too.
We'll
Coming
see.
soon, Eureka's OnlyFans toe
You
fetish.
see me on a poster with
Right.
pasties.
We're pasties, my own show
Hey.
in Vegas, right? Headlining
Eureka Brats at the Lamar Theater.
Yeah, so guys, if you guys are really, it's a great show. I've seen the show. It's really good. Eureka's
Yes.
great hosting. I missed your debut, but
It was a lot of fun.
Next week, I'll definitely come check you out.
It's
right?
interesting because I got a character. I bring everything down. Usually I got this loud, squeaky voice, but I kind of mellow
Oh, you
it
bring
all
your
out.
big,
It's
your
a
alto.
little, just a little bit. Just a little bit. You still got
okay.
to keep it soft,
You got to
but-
keep it, yeah.
but yeah.
Okay, well, good to hear. And now, now that we're talking about shows, and I'm glad all the shows went pretty
Yes,
well
yes.
this week, and it's
Me
great.
too.
And one thing I can say also, for those of you that are planning on taking a trip to Las Vegas, make sure you book your tickets early.
Yes.
Because sometimes the tickets sell out And so
all the time.
it's going to
All the
start
time.
getting busy. Now is a good time because the flights aren't that expensive
No,
now.
no.
The hotels are not that expensive.
Nope, you want to book out now.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you
oh,
start-
yeah, especially if you're planning to come during the spring and early summer. Because if you wait any later, if you wait till about late February,
That's where they get you. That's where
they
get
know
you.
that's when you're starting to plan.
Yeah, that's when they get you.
Yeah.
So speaking of shows, I'm really excited about this show that's coming here this month.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This week, opening this week.
It's a comedy show here at our theater.
Yes.
Which I've been wanting a black comedy show for a long time.
Yes.
And this show here, although he's going to bring in Reese Russell, who actually hosts the show,
Yes.
is bringing in a wide swath of comedians, not
Of
just
course.
black comedians, but mostly
Of
black
course.
comedians. But
Yeah.
he's broadening out. He's bringing a bunch of folks, and the lineup so far is just
Nice.
out of control.
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay, he's got some great comedians
heard.
coming up.
I'm excited.
And so it opens up on the 11th of January here
Yes.
at the theater. So
Thursday.
where can they get tickets? Where can they?
LamarTheater.com. You will see the artwork, the poster there, and we'll also put a link in the bio. So you'll be able to look below or whatever platform we're on, and you'll be able to click that link. But www.lamartheater.com, for sure you'll be able
Is
to
it
find
the Lamar Theater or Lamar Theater?
It's actually both.
Okay,
We
so-
we own both domains.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Speaking of comedians,
Listen, I have been wanting to ask you for days. It has taken over the internet. You know what I'm going to ask you. KATT Williams. KATT Williams has gone viral, and he said a lot of things. I got to get your thoughts on it, because we haven't been able to talk about it. And I know you mentioned it a couple of days, and I don't have
Okay.
time. So please tell me your thoughts.
okay, so here are my thoughts about that. Here's my thoughts, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be as honest as KATT Williams was with Shannon Sharp. Is that his name?
I don't know.
Shannon Sharp. Okay.
Yes, it's Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. Okay, so full disclosure, KATT Williams was attached to a movie that he was going to do. So we've had conversations, KATT and I. The irony, though, is that KATT got signed to this project with Mike Epps.
Yes.
And the project was called Blazing 4. You know about
I'm
it.
well aware.
Sold this project. It was a comedy, a script. I wrote hilarious
Hilarious.
script. And it was set in the Old West. And so there were 4 gunslingers. And what makes it interesting that we're talking about KATT now is that movie was originally written. I wrote that movie for the Kings of Comedy.
That's right.
Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey,
D.L. Hughley.
D.L. Hughley, and Cedric the Entertainer.
That's right.
Okay, so those 4 guys were attached to my movie, The Blazing 4. And my co-writer, Ernest Thomas, you may know Ernie from
What's Happening?
well, What's Happening fame, but most recently, Chris Rock.
Oh, yes, everybody hates Chris.
He was
the landlord.
The landlord. So you all know Ernie, Ernest Thomas,
Yes.
an amazing comedian
Amazing
and
person.
talent himself. But so those guys were attached to my movie.
Yeah, I remember.
And then through politics and I guess Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac, I don't know what the situation was there. That movie never went.
Yes.
It never happened. So
and I
you-
remember that by the time you picked it back up again, we had already lost Bernie, to
Correct,
life.
correct. So then years later, I revived that project
Correct.
and attached,
It was KATT Williams.
KATT Williams.
Mike Epps.
yes.
Cedric the Entertainer, and was it Tashina
It-
Arnold?
No, and Tashina Arnold.
That's what it
and
was.
Tashina Arnold.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's interesting. We needed one more character, major guy in it, talent, and we went to Kevin. I know Kevin Hart pretty well, and I said, Kevin, I'd love for you to do this movie. And Kevin declined, or his
His manager or
yeah,
agent.
they called me and said, Kevin,
We're gonna
he
pass.
likes you a lot, likes, she loves the script.
Everybody loved that script.
But he actually declined because, and this is where it gets weird, because KATT and he did not get along.
Oh, so this has been going on for a long
That's
time.
my point. It's been going on for quite some time.
Do you know how it started?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I'm
know,
gonna look it up.
I know KATT had a little beef with Steve Harvey at one point. Remember, they had a comedy off. I guess it was like a comedy boxing match.
Really?
Oh, yeah. In Chicago, one was headlining and then the other one was performing at the same venue. So they just said they got into a little beef, and then KATT was like, all right, you judge who's going to be funnier, and then it became this big thing.
Lord.
No, it was really big. It was really big.
Oh, wow.
It-
I recently got into comedy, like maybe a couple of years ago, meaning started,
Following it
following
and
comedians and really appreciating their work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't aware.
Yeah. So KATT,
So KATT's just going around. KATT has had a lot of
he's an interesting fellow.
That's a funny guy.
He's funny. He's
That's a
funny.
funny guy.
He's funny, and he's been able to tap into the pop culture zeitgeist in a way that very few entertainers. There's a love that people have for KATT Williams that they don't necessarily have for even more popular comedians like Kevin Hart's and Wim Con. We somehow look at KATT Williams like he's one of our own.
He is really, he has made it, it's crazy because he's not, to Hollywood standards, he's not like, an A-list comedian anymore, because he was well on his way. But he is, you say name a comedian and you're at a family gathering, everyone's going to say KATT Williams.
So here's what
it's either Eddie Murphy, KATT Williams, Dave Chappelle.
Right, Dave Chappelle. And by the way, Dave, really good friend of mine. I know Dave really well. Yes. And they all are, whether it's Kevin Hart, KATT Williams, and I've been surrounded by these guys because most of the movies I've written have been comedies, and so I've met with them.
And they're always out and about in LA. You can't go to the comedy store without seeing one of them.
But here's the interesting thing. So out of the entire interview between KATT and Shannon, this is all I wanted to address. This is the only thing I want to talk to our audience here, because I've been in Hollywood for 25 years. So, drum roll, please. Thank you. Good. No, you were on key, too. The Illuminati.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Illuminati.
All right.
I want to go ahead and...
Are you familiar with the Illuminati?
I'm familiar with the term.
Okay.
I'm familiar with...
Just wanted to make sure.
No, I've been in the industry. I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Well, you think only KATT can speak his truth?
Well,
I want to speak my truth.
Have you had any Illuminati-esque experiences?
I don't know. I've had experiences, and I want to divulge them now.
Oh, and I'll tell you if I think they're Illuminati or not. Because your
You
ideas
just crossed your arm. Hold on a second.
I feel like I am.
Hey, I'm feeling pressured. I'm feeling pressured here. Okay. I want to reveal.
I want to know what you've gone through. What have you experienced?
Okay, well, that's what I want to say, because I don't know if it's actually Illuminati or not.
I'm going to enlighten you.
Okay, why? Are you an expert in Illuminati?
Like I might just be an expert.
Okay, wait.
I have a lot of thoughts on Illuminati, but I'm not going to dive into that.
Hold on, please. Can you define?
No.
Well, if you're going to judge whether what I'm going to tell you is Illuminati or not, we need to know what your definition of Illuminati is.
I feel like it's layered. I feel like, what we see. I believe in the unseen world. I believe I'm spiritual.
Okay.
I'm not quite religious per se, but I'm definitely spiritual. And I do believe that there are there's some dualities to life. Like there's the world that we don't see. Some of us call it the universe. Some of us call it energy.
Okay.
And religious people sometimes call it good and evil.
Okay.
But I do believe that there is a hovering sort of cloud or energy over Hollywood and anything that involves a lot of money.
Okay, you just described a bathhouse, a gay bathhouse.
Wait.
Steam, a lot of money, hovering above.
I think Illuminati is.
You need to be more specific. Okay.
Lord, what did I get myself into?
Okay.
I do believe that there is an idea of what Illuminati could be. I do believe that there is a certain level of darkness, dark energy that exists in the industry. And I do believe that in order to maintain dark energy, you have to feed it. And some of the activities that we hear about, or some of the dark stories that we hear about, I believe they do happen, and I believe they happen to continue to feed that energy.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Which
All right,
leads to
so a lot
power.
of people, listen, okay, so I used to go to Jamie Foxx's party.
We've all heard about
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And there've been a lot of rumors about things that happened at the party.
Did you?
Right?
Did you see anything?
No, I didn't. That's what I mean.
Oh.
I've gone to the parties. And by the way, a lot of my friends have had parties, Mekhi Phifer and this person and that person parties. Eddie Murphy's house. I've been at Eddie's parties. Maybe I'm just not invited to the ritual stuff that goes on.
Maybe.
They just find me not invited. I don't know.
I don't think people do their stuff just out in the public.
But no, it's not on public, but I'm sure there's other people that's invited to like the after party.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've never been invited to the after
Maybe
party.
you just didn't have the vibe. Maybe you didn't have wear the right clothes that day. I don't know. Maybe, but you're not that guy. You're like you
I
literally.
am that guy. I am that guy.
You're not,
I am him.
You're.
I'm him.
I am him. You are him.
Okay.
You are he.
You are he.
No, that guy, as far as that type, you don't have dark energy. You're not into sharing your personal whatever.
Right.
You're not into exploiting, people's, I don't know, sexualities or their innocence. That's just
Right.
not you.
Right.
So I don't think you would be invited.
I've never really experienced. Listen, there are movie roles I've gone. Listen. I'll be honest with you. I'm a good-looking guy, by all measures. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever metrics you want to use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Supermodel.
Are we comparing you to Tyson Beckford or?
Datees, whatever, man, God, whatever,
Okay.
whatever metrics you want to use, I am.
You are on that scale.
I am on that, at least competitive. Okay, high cheekbones, beautiful
I love the
face,
confidence.
chocolate, style, class, all that, and a bag of Doritos. Although I don't eat that stuff.
Wow.
So-
I love the confidence.
So that being said, I did have a couple of gay agents.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
A couple of gay.
Well, I don't want to say most of them are, but there's a lot of
a lot of gay agents.
Yeah.
My present agent is actually a female.
Okay.
But I've had gay agents in the past. And
They're like
actually,
the best agents.
yeah, and I had one agent who was actually attracted to me.
Ooh.
He was actually attracted to me. He asked me to go on a date with him.
Oh.
Yeah. And I said no, obviously. Well, the way he asked.
Okay.
It wasn't like a meeting. He was like, hey, do you want to go out and grab something? And I was like,
You like to talk about
right. And he couldn't
project?
tell. Right. He was like, no, just to kind of, spend some time with you a little bit. And I was like, no. I think I'm going to stay home.
I think I was saying, I feel a little
I feel
uncomfortable.
a little uncomfortable with this conversation.
wanna cross
No, but seriously, I
boundaries.
was like, nah, man. I'm sorry. Listen, I grew up in Brooklyn, School of Hard Knocks, and I was in Brooklyn at the time. So,
Oh, you were in New York. Okay.
yeah. I've softened up over the years, but I used to be really
Oh, I hear
like,
you trying to. It's coming
yeah,
out
I
a
used to
little
be.
bit.
You feel me? Like, yo, come on, son, real, come on, B.
You're not even convincing.
Come on. I love the game, B.
What-
B, I
what
love the
game?
game, B.
What
Okay,
game?
I'm sorry. We're back to
Where are we?
Paid in Full is my favorite
Paid
movie,
in
by the
Full
way.
is a good
One of my favorite movies. Anyway. But yeah, he was attracted to
Was
me.
he
and
offended when you said no?
he actually wasn't.
Nice.
And there was no retaliatory sort of
Yeah.
dynamics after that.
He just thought he'd ask. He said no. He's like, okay.
Yeah, he just moved on,
And
so,
did you? How long did he remain your agent for after that?
a good 2 years or
Okay.
so, 2 years.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you never felt uncomfortable after that.
never felt uncomfortable. Well,
That's
yeah,
good.
I think if you feel uncomfortable,
Something's going on within.
that is a fact.
I agree.
That is a fact.
I agree.
You know what I mean? If I'm
Like,
walking
what do I
around,
care?
that's my point. If I'm not rocking like that, and my vibe, and I know I'm a good-looking guy, and I could see why it'd be difficult for you not to.
Okay.
I've had police officers stop me to give me a ticket and be like, "You're a good-looking guy. No ticket for you today."
No, you haven't. Have you really?
No, never happened. But I would, it's
That would've been really
that'd be really cool. But seriously, but my point was, Is that what you consider? Would you consider that?
No, that's just
what's
regular
not-
life stuff.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Yeah, no, but I do believe it's just
Now, if I'd gone and somehow wound up in his basement, tied to
that's
his bed.
assuming he's got a
and,
dungeon. He probably just wanted to give you some wine and watch a movie. I mean, I don't think
Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I see.
sure that's all it was.
Okay. But my point is.
Yeah, he didn't give you a drink and say, "Here, drink
At
this."
what point do you sort of go into Illuminati? If it's, you know what I mean?
I think that's a whole nother layer and
Okay.
world that, I
Oh.
mean, there's the surface level.
Okay.
And then I'm sure they've got their,
Okay.
their personal, like,
little stuff, rituals.
I don't know.
Okay.
But something's going on.
Okay.
Something's going on. It's been, wherever
But-
there's smoke, there's fire. So,
And I've always been one of those people in the industry that has, I've never fully integrated myself into that lifestyle. I am, as Eureka says, I'm a loner very much. I live in my own head like 95% of the times. And, I'm joking about the good-looking thing because the only person who actually thinks I'm good-looking is me.
That's not true.
Which is good. Which is good. I mean, which is
That's
by the
not
way-
true. The old ladies at Black Magic Live said they'll eat you alive. They love them some JC.
Those old ladies
They
need
love
to
it.
chill.
Or as you call them, the OGs.
The OGs. I call them the OGs.
They love you.
But getting back to KATT Williams, look, I think KATT at the end of the day tapped into something. And in his truth, as it were, as he self-described it, resonated with people
Mm-hmm.
who are suspicious of the industry and
Oh, yeah.
suspicious
We
about
thrive off of
hold on,
conspiracy.
even and by the way, true to form, as I even asked you, how do you define Illuminati?
it's like
and that was
abstract
It's
and
nebulous.
straight,
It's
yeah.
not even something
Yeah.
that people can actually
Yeah.
say.
I just think
this
there's
is
a dark
what it
energy
is.
there. Yeah.
You just describe it as dark energy.
Yeah, there's a dark energy on a deeper level.
Unspoken.
Unspoken.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're, I just think there's no coincidence that most child actors and child stars, look at how they end up when they get a little older. They've got a lot of mental health issues going on. They either fall into drugs and alcoholism for the most part, not all. And even how many
Hold on. Okay.
drug addicted celebrities are we going to have? There's no reason.
They're artists also. They're also, so that's the thing. It's the chicken or the egg. Are there people who are damaged and that who are damaged when they enter the industry?
I'm sure.
And then they're tempted and whatever, because it's an industry of indulgence. That we can say. There's a lot of indulgence, a lot of money.
And everyone
a lot
knows
of- right?
everything in life should be done in moderation.
Right.
And it's just
So my
It's
point is,
constantly being fed. That's dark.
does the industry corrupt one, or is one already corrupted and then just sort of land in a place? So that's
a good question.
That's
I
a
can't
real
answer that,
that's a
yeah.
real question.
Yeah.
Because I came into the industry, sort of with very specific goals in mind, very focused. So it was very hard to get pulled into
Yes.
certain scenarios.
yeah.
But yeah, it's I've been in scenarios,
Yeah.
and I think I've shared it with you. I've been in scenarios where really big producers have invited music guys have invited
told
me, to their studio.
And
to
you said
just-
you caught the
I
vibe, like,
walked
wait
in-
a minute.
I literally, I was just kind of like, what? How could?
You said it felt like, we won't say any names, but you said it felt almost like this particular artist invites men almost to like recruit them and feel them out. if
Yeah.
they can
It was
fall
kind of. It felt.
for
It
the-
felt. It
for
felt.
the okey-doke.
Yeah. It felt predatory for
Yeah.
sure. Which reminds me, on the news, aside from KATT Williams, a big revelation was also Christian Keys.
Ooh, that was a big one. That happened right when
Right.
Vacation happened.
Yeah. So
that was wild.
So for those of you that don't know, Christian Keys is an actor who's got a show on,
Yes,
on
on
BET,
BET Plus,
BET
yes.
Plus, and
and some of our friends are in that show.
Yeah,
you know,
some of our friends are-
Bolo
yeah,
and now
yeah,
Lester. Well,
yes.
he doesn't go by Lester.
Yes.
anymore, yeah.
And he came out on several weeks ago on
Yes.
his Instagram and says there is a man, a very powerful
Very
billionaire,
powerful black, yes, in the industry.
who's a director, presumably, and that person has
And
been
producer.
sexually harassing him for a
Yes.
number of years.
That was big news.
And a lot of people think it was Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they do. They think it was
thought
Tyler
it was
Perry.
Tyler.
Yeah, he hasn't denied or affirmed.
Confirmed it,
Yeah.
right? But look, like, here's my thing. I don't think it's fair to Tyler because the description.
Yes, because most people think it's him, and it may or may not, and that's not.
And the
fair.
description was the description was kind of like everything pointed. If you've got half a brain,
Yeah.
you'd automatically
Yeah.
sort of, But in any event, would you consider that Illuminati?
No. That's just people being people.
Okay.
Some are predatory, some are not. And you make a good point, because as you were talking, I actually thought, does Hollywood have a dark layer to it, or does dark energy feed off of Hollywood?
That's what
I thought
Yeah.
about as I was listening to you
Yeah.
speak. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe that's it.
It could be that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so that is my thought on KATT WILLIAMS and this whole Illuminati thing.
That was wild. He took over the internet, and
It
I
went
think he
viral.
did. It went viral. It's still going.
It's still going.
There's so many. I haven't seen the entire interview, and every time I see a new clip, I'm like, "There's more." What else did this man talk about?
Listen,
But-
if he did anything, he shook the table.
He shook the table and he made it fun.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a fun sort of few days of social media.
Well, I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad you're
We're
back.
glad to have you back.
And we're expecting an amazing year this year. We've got conventions coming into town.
Yes, the year is barely started, so
And we've
we'll
got-
start to list those conventions that are coming up and which ones that will be very beneficial to the theater.
Yeah, and we also have a couple of residencies that are coming into the city of Las
Yes.
Vegas. So there's a lot happening, folks. We're going to be updating you throughout the year on this weekly episode of Live at the Lamar Theater. We want to thank you again, and we're going to have an amazing 2024.
24.
Bam. Cool. How long was that?
40 minutes.
Okay, but there's some stuff you're definitely going to end up cutting out.
Out,
Yeah, we spent about a good 12 minutes redoing the beginning.
so